Amplify Science, Plate Motion Unit, Chapter 4, Lesson 4.3, Writing a Scientific Argument. The lesson begins in Step 1, the warm-up. So you work independently for 5 minutes to complete the warm-up. Hand in when you're finished. You might want to pause the video while you complete this step. Step 2, discussion using the reasoning tool. We'll share how we use the same piece of evidence to support each of the two claims from the warm-up. We need to understand that a convincing argument should make a clear connection between the evidence and the claim by explaining why the evidence matters. In the previous lesson, you discussed the claims and evidence about which type of plate motion best explains the pattern of geologic activity on the Jalisco block. After the discussion, some of you changed your thinking. Today, you're going to develop your own scientific argument to answer this question. Convincing arguments include claims, evidence, and statements that make the reasoning process clear by showing how the evidence supports the claim. When making an argument, you're trying to explain your thinking in a way that convinces someone else that it is the best possible argument. This practice is called reasoning, and it is what your argument needs to include in order to help Dr. Moraga and his colleague understand what explains the pattern of geologic activity in the Jalisco block. So after pressing Next, we're going to take a look at the reasoning tool. You used a digital version of the reasoning tool in Chapter 3 of this unit. Today, you'll be using a paper version of this tool. This tool will help you clearly explain your thinking and use evidence to support a claim. At this point, you need your annotated evidence cards and argument organizer that you saved from Lesson 4.1 and 4.2, as well as a copy of the reasoning tool. And those, if you remember, look like this. There's an argument organizer for Claim 1 and Claim 2. And there are 5 evidence cards, A through E. So take a few minutes to review with a partner. You're getting ready to choose a claim, and you should be thinking about which pieces of evidence you will use to argue for that claim. You might want to pause the video while you complete this step. You may choose one or two of the claims or write a claim of your own. Fill in your reasoning tool by first writing in a claim. Then look for evidence cards that support this claim. Talking to a partner can help you decide which cards to use. Record or tape your evidence in the left-hand column of the reasoning tool. It can be helpful to think about how different pieces of evidence work together. Write about how these evidence cards are connected as you complete the middle column. There is not just one correct answer. The point is to make connections between the evidence and the claim, enabling others to follow your reasoning for supporting a claim. Refer to the classroom wall to include vocabulary and key concepts in your reasoning. You might want to pause the video while you complete this step. Step 3, writing, organizing using the reasoning tool. Identifying your strongest piece of evidence is a good idea because convincing arguments often start with their strongest piece of evidence. If there's a piece of evidence on your reasoning tool that does not support your claim, then draw an X over it to help you remember to ignore it when you begin writing your argument. Drawing an arrow between two pieces of evidence that go together will remind you to put these pieces of evidence next to each other as you structure your written argument. Complete or annotate your reasoning tools before moving on to Step 4. You might want to pause the video while you complete this step. Step 4, writing your argument. The 3 colors show the elements that make up a convincing argument: a claim, specific evidence, and an explanation of how the evidence supports the claim. Your reasoning tool has helped you carefully consider how the evidence supports your claim. You've also organized your ideas in preparation for writing them into your arguments. Remember to use your reasoning tool as you write, but be sure to expand on your ideas and use complete sentences. These are sentence starters that you can use to help connect your ideas and sentences more clearly in your written arguments. You now have time to complete your written argument. Hand in when you're finished. You might want to pause the video while you complete this step. Step 5, titled Homework, but we finish in class. This is an opportunity to revise your written argument. Use the tips provided for you in this step. Hand in when you're finished. You might want to pause the video while you complete this step. Step 6, self-assessment, also done in class. This is an opportunity to reflect on the unit. It helps both you and your teacher improve the unit. Hand in when you're finished.